All right, Virgo. Your underlying energy is the Knight of Wands. Okay, I'm going to show you here in a second. Knight of Wands. There's your underlying energy. So it's all about not traveling necessarily, but I feel like it's finding that passion, finding enthusiasm in the situation, and being enthusiastic about your situation, having fun, and enjoying yourself. And I feel like it's a little bit hard to enjoy yourself right now, considering that there's a lot of hermit mode stuff going on, and there's a difficult decision as well. Like, there's a lot of difficult decisions to make, a lot of stuff that's happening, and you're kind of keeping the balance of it. There was a difficult situation beforehand, and now you're having to try to bring the fun back into your love life, which again can be very, very difficult. Your current state of being is the Hermit. So you guys have withdrawn. You guys have taken the time out to really look within yourself, looking at the very nitty gritty and details within yourself to be able to really work on and find confidence. Well, you do have the confidence when the Hermit comes up, but it's also to really kind of understand yourself and, apply compassion to yourself to be able to reach the goals that you're looking for, reach the goals that you're trying to obtain. So right now, there's a lot of withdrawing, either you're withdrawing from your partner or the partner has withdrawn from you, taking a step back and really looking at themselves, looking at the situation from all angles and situations as such. Now, for your goal, you have the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like you're wanting to make a practical decision and you honestly want to stop juggling. You want to look at your emotions, you want to see things as they are, and you want to make the practical decision in how to handle your emotions. I think that's why there's a lot of hermit mode situations coming up, because there is a time that you have to step back, you have to look at yourself, but then you kind of want to be able to know what you're going to do practically to handle the emotional stuff, okay? Because there's a lot of juggling, there's a lot of practical decisions being made, there's a lot of managing, there's a lot of distraction. I feel like you want to be done with the distraction. You want to have everything that you want to know what you're going to do with your situation, with your emotions, to help you get to the next step. But the thing that's keeping you from getting to the Two of Pentacles and figuring out what it is that you want to do with your emotions practically, or handle your emotions in a constructive way, is the King of Cups. So this is somebody that's a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but this is also somebody that this is not a water sign for you. This is somebody that is very good at covering up and hiding their emotions and not being emotionally open, and not necessarily being emotionally open. They're very vulnerable at all times, but nobody knows that because they don't express themselves. They don't say anything. They don't express their emotions. They don't do anything that implies that their emotions are in the wind, and has a lot to do with not wanting to leave their comfort zone. It's very straight up and very forward, honestly, with this reading. And it could be you guys, right? You guys are in the hermit mode. That's your current state of being. You guys are like, this is me. That's how I am. I'm not really going to express myself or anything like that. And you guys are like, because you don't feel comfortable being out there in the wind with your emotions all hanging out. This could be you guys, but this could also be your partner that's just not opening up. That's not being, it's not giving anything to the relationship emotionally. I feel like you want to make practical decisions or constructively handle the emotions that are not being addressed right now because someone is not being open. And I feel like it's either you or the partner. And it has a lot to do with being vulnerable. Vulnerability is a very big thing for you and your partner right now. It's just like you guys don't want to be that vulnerability. And it has a lot to do with you guys withdrawing, taking a step back, and not having a lot of fun. It's very boring energy right now because nobody is talking. Nobody's expressing themselves. Nobody's saying anything about how they feel. And again, they don't feel comfortable. It's something about they have themselves and they know themselves very well, and it's taking that risk and expressing themselves that's just making them feel like, I think I'll stay here. So what is your advice is to be compassionate with the Empress card here. Empress is very compassionate, very nurturing, very comfortable, and she's very, very good at persuading the Emperor to do what she wants him to do, or just at least getting on her side. She's the only one that can kind of compromise. She's the only one that can convince him otherwise. So right now with the Empress card, it's time to be compassionate. It's time to show that care and that love. And honestly, if this person that you're dealing with is not opening their emotions up to you, then it's time to show them that it's okay and you are a safe haven for them to be open and vulnerable with. If this is you guys not being open and expressing yourself, it's time to find your comfortability. It's time to to take care of yourself a lot more and really figure out what it is that's keeping you from being open and exposing yourself in emotional sense. Because right now you can't really handle your situation if you're not looking at your emotions. The emotions are the biggest part of your decision making, and if you don't see what you need to see, especially with the Two of Swords underneath the Knight of Wands, you're not looking at the situation very clearly. So you're just looking at what you want to look at, which is the practical stuff. Like, what can I handle? What can I build? What can I make? What can I do? What are you juggling right now? And if this is if you're juggling stuff to kind of to ignore the emotions, this is not what's going to help you manifest. If you want to manifest, you have to look at how you feel, and you have to provide yourself a safe haven, an uncritical safe haven for how you feel. You can't be judgmental. The Empress is not judgmental. And with this card here with Empress there, you want to provide yourself a safe haven of non-judgment for yourself to feel anything that you feel. No matter what you feel, it is how it is. If you don't like how you feel, then you can always change that, right? You can always change how you feel, but you have to give yourself a space and a safe haven to be yourself, to feel however you are meant to feel, however you are feeling now on an unjudgmental plane. Now, for your feelings, you have death. Right now, you're releasing something. You're letting something go. You're going ahead and chopping something out. Or this is resistance on releasing something, because you do have the Four of Pentacles here as the reason why there's the King of Cups. So, like I said, it's either you are being the person that is not opening up emotionally, or your partner isn't, or both of you. Because the Hermit, I know it's a card for Virgo, but honestly, it can be for anybody and both of you, right? It could be for either one of you or both of you. So either you guys are not releasing what it is, that whatever disappointment it is, or whatever you're holding back, whatever is keeping you from being able to express yourself, to be emotionally open, whatever is keeping you from doing that, and being able to maintain your emotions in a very practical way, or a very constructive way. It has a lot to do with past appointments, past anything. Whatever is keeping space in your heart from being able to come up with a conclusion, that is what's keeping the emotions in. So you have to release that. Right now you know that as well. That's why it's in your feelings. It's time to release it, and there's a bit of resistance because, again, this is a lot of work that you put in to be in this spot in the first place, to be very stable. But you have to find a new way of being stable, because right here, this is all about lack of expansion. You don't expand from here. If you want to stay here, you can, but you have a lot of problems that could be building up because you're holding in a lot of this emotion. This emotion is strong when the King of Cups comes up. It's a strong wave of emotions. And until you address this, then you will have a hard time figuring out how to balance your situation in the best way possible, to figure out whatever you need to figure out, because your emotions are very much involved in your decision making. Now, with your hopes and fears, you have the Page of Wands. So this is talking about making the move, the right gestures. Also, this is all about news as well, and excitement and passion, and things kind of going in the direction of creativity and fun. It's inspirational. I feel like you want to be inspired. You really want to kind of, do something. You really want to make that move and get excited about whatever it is that you are involved in, whether this is a relationship or not. Like, you really want to express emotional or express passion in your relationship, but again, it's being held back. So how are you going to express how are you going to express yourself when you're holding it all in? You're focusing on work so much, or the person that you're with is focusing on work so much, that you're not able to really purge and allow that passion and energy to kind of seep through. You know what I'm saying? So right there, Virgo, you have this need to really, really express how you feel in a very constructive manner, but you don't know how you're not addressing how you feel, nor is your partner addressing how they feel, or either or, right? You guys could be feeling everything in the world, and but it's still keeping you from making a decision, because they're not either opening up or you're not opening up. And your outcome shows to be the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, you're not really sure, but what the hell you're going to be doing with these 3 cups, because that's all you see. All you see is just emotional dissatisfaction, apathy everywhere you look. And it's because you're not necessarily opening up at what you feel like you need, but then at the same time, you have that fourth cup there, just waiting for you to see him. See it for what it truly is. And I feel like that's the emotional aspect of the situation, the decision making, that's necessary to help you get to this Two of Pentacles. But you have to see it first. You have to notice that you have emotions in the first place to even begin to accept a cup, to notice that there's a cup even there waiting for you to take it. So right now, this whole situation is talking about finding that passion, finding that drive, because passion and emotional vulnerability are very, very close. All right, with passion, your emotions are involved, and if you don't have your emotions involved, you can't have passion. Jesus. Dropped some cards, a lot of them. Okay. But yeah, passion and emotions go hand in hand. If you don't have an emotional baseline, then you don't have passion. So you have to be emotionally available and open in order for things to be able to be expressed passionately. Okay. Okay, you guys have romantic feelings. Okay, your feelings are real and worth exploring. So that if you're going to do any hermit moding, it's time to do it within your emotions and trying to look at what you feel. Because if you feel something, that means that you can utilize that as your passion, as your source of drive. So explore those feelings. Explore your partner's feelings even. Look at your partner's emotional energy and see your own emotional energy. And that is what you can pretty much derive the excitement from. You guys can really look at what you guys find as fun, very exciting for the both of you, and really begin to really begin to have that Knight of Wands, Page of Wands energy. But until then, you have to look at your emotions. Looking at how you feel, and then making the most out of it, materializing it. That's what the two of Pentacles is all about. You can't materialize something without the emotional aspect to it. Consider your foundation, and it says, you are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. And the love meaning yourself, meaning your heart. All right, and the number is 50 as well. So, if you look at your foundation, look at where you're coming from, look at your hearts. If you look at where your love, meaning, like I said before, your heart, it's going to help you with making the decision to put, constructive energy into things. You want to be very constructive about how you feel. But if all you see is the cups in front of you, it's because you're not really looking at what your heart's desire is in the first place. What is your heart's desire? But don't think that what you feel, what your heart's desire is in what is already there. Sometimes it's outside of the box. That's why the Four of Pentacles is here and the Four of Cups. It's outside of the box. It's not in the norm. It's not what you've already built. It's not within what you already have, because you have to expand from here to get more. You have to expand from this emotional period in your life to see that there's a cup waiting for you to move on to the next level. That love that's there. But at the same time, you have to be emotionally open. You have to use your intuition with that, okay? Because sometimes you may be so focused on these three cups that you kind of neglect your emotions. You may neglect your intuition. You have to rely on your intuition. Your intuition is all connected to your emotions. If you want more fun, you have to find your emotions. If you want to expand, you have to find your emotions. You have to rely on your intuition. Because sometimes it may not be in what is already in front of you. And sometimes going with the flow and finding and going along with a cup that you may not be so familiar with may be something that can really bring you some excitement and manifest something beautiful. So you have to provide yourself a non-judgmental area of feeling provide yourself a non-judgmental a non-judgmental space for you to feel, and that's the same for your partner. Don't judge them for how they feel. Don't judge yourself for how they make you feel. Don't judge anything. Just feel, and then work on what you may not want from what you feel to manifest what you want. Alright, Virgo, I hope this reading helps you guys, and I hope this reading was able to kind of open your eyes a little bit more in the situation that you may have going on with this kind of stuck energy. Somebody ain't opening up. Either you, your partner, whoever. Right? They're not opening up very well. But the whole point of everything is that you guys recognize this and figure out the best way possible to release what is keeping you from holding on to this, to this old way of expressing your emotions, which is not at all. Okay? So that way you guys can have a lot more excitement. You guys can have more fun and enjoy yourself and experience things in a different light.